week is out. Let's just update Twitter and see where everybody is at. Yay, somebody's here. Hi, whoever you are. I am just getting the stream pulled up on my computer so I can watch the comments and see all who is here. Oh, there's 2 people now. Hi. If you are not a robot, then please introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you're writing and why you're here and what brought you here and all that good stuff. Alright, pulling up the stream. Mute myself because I don't like hearing my own voice. Okay, cool. So we're just going to give a couple more minutes for people to trickle on in to the stream and all that good stuff. 1 second, just making sure that the link went out successfully. Yay! Okay, it did. Cool. Perfect. All right. So, yay! Okay, we got a comment. So, Alexander Black, literary madman, master of the macabre, and future president of the Patchwork Nerd Fan Club has arrived. Oh, best introduction yet. Hi, Alexander. Good to see you. Well, see you. That puts a smile on my face. How are you doing this evening? How are all of you guys doing? All 3 of you. You know, we're a big old bunch. Yeah, that just makes me so happy. That's a good way to start the stream. I'm content with that. And I'm so sorry, guys, that there wasn't a stream last week. I got in a funk. Like, I was just in a weird old funk, but I'm feeling better now, and I'm really excited to be streaming. I kind of have like a dull headache in my head. A headache in my head. Oof, the writing is gonna be rough tonight. But I'm working through it. I've got some tea. I've got some rewards for myself to make myself feel happy. So it's all good. It's all good. So yes, please introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what brought you here, if you're doing nano, if you're not doing nano, what you're working on this evening. Are you writing? Are you editing? Are you doing jumping jacks? I don't know. Be kind of odd for you to be here, but you never know. You never know. Alexander Black says, and tonight I shall be working on my horror version of Alice in Wonderland while continuing to think about the flesh of to think about the flesh. Oh boy, to think about and flesh out my newest idea that I've been obsessing about for a week. Ooh, sounds like somebody's got a plot bunny. Uh-oh. I'm guessing it's the kind with like teeth, and it's like the one from Monty Python. Is it that kind of plot bunny? That's exciting. I'd love to hear more about this other project, because your Alice in Wonderland one has had me very intrigued, as well as your other story. I don't think you've shared the title with it, but that's really cool to hear that you have another story in the works. That's super exciting. I kind of let myself go off on a tangent last week with a short story, and I haven't finished it yet, but I really like the idea of it, and I kind of was like, okay, I'm still gonna count this as nano writing because it's writing. It's for a project. It's like it's for something, so it's okay. So gave myself permission a little bit there. Alexander Black says, also planning my supernatural fanfic where I pit the Winchesters against famed horror villains. Ooh, that sounds interesting too. I've never actually watched the show Supernatural. Nobody throw anything at me because I know there's a lot of like super fans of that show, but I've heard it's really good. My mother-in-law is really into it, so you know, she's got good taste in shows. Ooh, Franny Marie says, 22K into my dark drama suspense novel. Glad to see you're back. Good to see you too. Well, see you too. And thank you so much for joining this evening. I'm very excited to have you guys here. Looks like we're down to 2, but that's okay. More people will trickle in eventually-ish, hopefully-ish, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. That's what it's all about. Alexander Black says, I can share my synopsis for the new story if you're interested. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool to wow, you already wrote a synopsis? You're like moving. You must be excited about this idea, because I know a lot of people who writing synopsi? Is it like cacti? synopsis. When writing a synopsis, I know for a lot of writers it's like pulling teeth. I'm kind of one of those weirdos who actually likes writing a synopsis. I think they're kind of fun because I don't know, I just when I was a kid, that's the part I would always like write first is like the back of the book blurb. That was always the part I would get really excited about writing because it'd be like, ooh, look at my blurb. It's like a real novel now, and okay, done. Patent it, sell it. I wrote a novel because I wrote the blurb. So I was a strange child though. So you know. Mm. Let me see. By all accounts, I cannot talk today, guys. Okay, so by all accounts, Al is an average high school senior. She's got a job, a best friend, and good grades. She's responsible for caring for her agoraphobic, mentally ill father, or at least she was while he was alive. But Al, am I reading this right? Al has a secret. Her father was ill, but then he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Al snapped and propped him up in the walk-in freezer in their basement now. Oh gosh, and now for the last year, Al has been luring people back to her home to kill them for a ritual human sacrifice in the hope of bringing her father back to life. Ooh, okay. That's intense. Interesting that the character's name's Al. My dad's alive and well. So, funny coincidence. It sounds very, very scary and sounds very interesting. So, cool. Can't wait to see what you do with it. And named after Aleister Crowley. Alistair or Alistair? I might be saying that wrong. Alistair? Is Alistair a girl name? I've never known that before. That sounds very interesting. Like, cool. I say follow that plot, bunny. Do you think it's going to be a short story or Alistair? Okay. I didn't know that could be a girl name. Like, that's really interesting. Huh. I learned something today. Seems like I'm always learning something from you guys, which is pretty cool. Sorry that I did not do such a good job of reading it. No male name, but he was a famed British occultist. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like the name Ashley now kind of has that girl spin on it, even though it used to be a guy name. Okay, I see where you're going with that. That's really interesting. And named after an occultist, that makes sense too, especially since they seem to know some weird occult stuff. So I'm intrigued. I vote yes to pursuing that plot, bunny. So we'll just give a couple more minutes. I definitely started the stream a few minutes early just because I thought it would give some time for people to trickle on in, and all of that usually takes a good like 5-10 minutes before like our group settles in. But if you guys want to share the projects that you're working on, introduce yourself, all that good stuff. Now so far has the first week was really good and I had a good groove. And then, I don't know, I've just been kind of in a slump the last couple of days. Like, I haven't been able to write pretty much at all. Like, my goal is to write 35 hours in the month, and I just didn't feel what I did as actual writing hours, because it's like, I'm staring at the computer, 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 and it's just like, nothing's coming. I'm not writing anything still, so it was complicated. It was a very complicated relationship I was having with my writing the last couple of days. And I'm hoping to just get out of that slump and get out of my head. And my dog is barking at something. What is he barking at? Oh, it looks like the neighbor has a friend over and they parked kind of semi in front of her house. So Willie's like barking at them. Willie! Willie, come here! Willie, come! I don't know if you guys can hear him barking, but Willie, come here. You're fine. Thank you for protecting the homestead. Willie, no, nobody's here. It's funny. Willie never barks except for when he goes into guard dog mode, which is good because at least I know that I'm safe. So I will take that. Wow, he never barks that much. I wonder if they have a dog with them, because usually he gets really excited when he sees another dog. So we're going to work through that. We're going to work around that, and it's all going to be good. But yeah, I think think that we're at the point where we can start our first sprint of the night and just kind of try to get our toes dipped into the water of writing and all that good stuff. So, ooh, hang on. Get that off of my screen. Okay, sorry, my notifications still pop up. I should mute them before this, but I'm a forgetful Fred. So, is that a term? Forgetful Fred? I feel like I keep trying to make that a thing. Okay, so I have our prompts, and we're gonna go for, let's go for 10 minutes. That should be good. So, for this evening, this is our prompt, and we are going to be writing about, wait a minute, is this an old prompt? I think this is an old prompt. So I'm going to, I had some extra ones on my desk that I thought were like my unused ones from the last time I streamed, but unless I had the same idea twice. Oh, you know what? These are the prompts from last week that I didn't completely use. Okay. Okay, I found them. All right, these are the prompts that we are going to be using for this evening. Ooh, looks like some more people popped up. Alexander says, I got the idea for a teenage necromancer, and the more the idea, the idea then snowballed. My plans are to write it at a screenplay and as a screenplay film it myself, but it doesn't work if I'll go for a novel. That's really cool. Sorry, I'm having troubles reading tonight, but I like the idea of a teenage necromancer. It kind of reminds me almost of The Babysitter. It's a Netflix movie. I would definitely recommend that if you want some inspiration. I won't give away too much because, you know, spoilers and all of that. But Steven says, I'm here. Hi, Steven. Glad you could be here. Good to see you. I keep saying good to see you to everyone. So it's good to see your name pop up on the thingy. So I was just about to pick a prompt for us to write, and oh my gosh, a whole bunch of you just popped on in. Awesome. Okay, so I am going to pick a prompt for us, and it's going to be awesome. So at let's go 7:10, we'll go for 10 minutes. That sound good, everyone? And if you're just joining us, feel free to introduce yourself, say hi, tell us about what you're writing. Are you doing Camp Nano? Or are you not doing Camp Nano? Just tell us about yourself. No judgment here. KJ says, hello, yay, prompt time, haha. Yes, it is prompt time, and the prompt I have chosen is a stop sign. It's an interesting way to start. Stop sign. So use it in any way, shape, or form that you want. No judgment at all. So I'm going to get the timer ready to go on my computer. Timer. Oh, and also, guys, I'm working for candy this evening. I had a humongous stash of this. Thank you, Steven, so much, by the way, of these candies, but I ran out a while ago, and I was at Hy-Vee today, and they had a tub that was labeled 2 for $1, and it was full of this and some other candy. I only got 2 because I have somewhat self-control, and this is what I'm working for. If I successfully make my goal candy very seriously. So when I do eat it, I enjoy it. Hi, Wilbert. Did you defend the homestead? Hi. Yeah, thank you for defending us. Hello. Yeah, why don't you go lay down? Okay, he's in his little puppy bucket. So, all is well, and it is time to start. And I'm going to be working on some editing, actually, of my first chapter. So, go, and we are going to write for 10 minutes. The prompt is stop sign, and if you have any questions, feel free to type them. I always keep an eye out on the comments. And yeah, so ready, set, go. we've got about a minute. Well, nope, we've got like 20 seconds left. So, yeah, make those 20 seconds count. All right, that is time. How did you guys do? Report your word counts if you're tracking that. Report your successes, your not so successes, how that went, anything like that. No, no judgment here. There's no exact like system to this. So just let us know how it's going. It looks like some comments popped up. KJ. Oh wait, I read that one. Fanny says yes, and then Carrie Week says I'm late, but I'm here. Hi, good to see you. Or I keep saying that. I keep saying it's good to see you, and I'm not seeing any of you. It's good to see your avatar. It's good to see you typing. KJ says hi, Carrie. We're doing a 10-minute sprint with the prompt for stop sign. If you missed it. And then Carrie says, thanks for the heads up. I'll jump in right then. Awesome. Thank you so much for KJ for giving that, like filling that in those details. I usually try to talk a little bit during the sprint, but I really, really got into that. I was editing this very descriptive paragraph and like, guys, seriously, there is this book I have been reading that it is changing the way I write. Like, you know when you read a book and you're just like this is going to make me a better writer because I read this book. Like I am so inspired, and it makes you like you literally are like almost studying the sentences because you're trying to figure out like put together the puzzle that writer has created with those words. And that book I want to talk about in more detail once I actually finish it. It's a very long book and I'm a very slow reader, so I've been reading it for quite a while now, but that book is called Uprooted by Naomi, I forget the name, but it's on my Kindle, so I believe that's upstairs, but it's called Uprooted, and guys, seriously, the descriptions in that book have made me a better writer because it's like, how can I describe details with this much precision? Like this book, like it better not have a bad ending because I absolutely love what I've read so far. So let's see how you guys did. Franny did 137 words. That's awesome. Alexander Black says, I just realized I forgot to pay attention. Was there a prompt? My little necromancer and Alice were beating up my attention span. That's okay. The prompt was stop sign, but I couldn't find a way to use it because my story is in a fantasy world, and I feel like all of a sudden having a stop sign in there would be a little bit odd. So the stop sign did not get into my thing. So guys, just know that the prompts are there to help you if you need something, but it's never required. Never, never, never expected that you have to use the prompt or else you get kicked out, or I don't even know how that would work, but you know what I mean. Shannon says 151 words. Awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys were kicking butt. Alexander says, and very nice, Fanny. I got just one word less than you. Awesome. KJ says, got distracted by my dog, lol, so I ended up searching through my draft for a scene I'm moving and rewriting into my work in progress. Yes, awesome, that's great. Yeah, and dogs are distracting sometimes, but it's a good distraction. My dog was in here, but I'm pretty sure he jumped ship and he's on the bed now because he puts himself to bed at night, and it's only 7 o'clock, but, well, 7:30, but he likes to put himself to bed when he knows that I'm just like settling in for the night and being comfy, so he probably is on the bed right now. Shannon says Naomi Novik. Novik. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Yes, that is the author. I absolutely love her stuff, and I know she has another book coming out pretty soon here, and I was contemplating pre-ordering it, but then I was like, oh no, I'm still reading her first book and it's taking me forever. What if I automatically feel like I have to read the second book and then that takes me forever, and I have so many books I need to read. Like, guys, I am very behind on my TBR list. Like, I'm ashamed of myself with how far behind I am, because like there's so many good books coming out, and there's so many books that did come out that I just haven't gotten a chance to read. Like, oh God, what was the last book? The last book I read was Twisted Fate by Jessie Elliott. She actually has a YouTube channel. You should totally follow that because her advice is so good. She's got such a good writing channel, but her book Twisted Fate was just like this beautiful romance. Oh my god, I got so emotional at the end of that book. It's she is an independent author, and it's a romance story about a girl who is kidnapped by the leader of the Fae. It's like an urban fantasy, and romance and chaos ensues, and it is just wonderful. And also, there's a bit of an adult scene, so if you're not wanting to read that, like you know, some epic cuddle time, that, yeah, we're going with that term. Just keep that in mind. So maybe not if you're young or impressionable, you know, but otherwise, if you like a good romance, like, yes, like, oh my god. And the main character Tristan was just yeah. So that was the last book I read, and now I'm reading this one, and the comments are like scrolling really fast, and I'm sitting here babbling about books, but how can I not babble about books? And there's something. Then The Savior's Champion is coming out soon by Jenna Marazzi, and I really want to read that because I was on her email list and I got the first chapter. Maybe it was the first 2 chapters. Whatever I read, I was like, oh my god, I need to keep reading this. Like, this is so good. And Keeper, I still need to read Keeper. I didn't get a chance to start that. And oh, there's just so many books that I need to read, guys. There's so many books. There's too many books to read. So I'm gonna calm down. Let's read some comments. KG says Naomi Novik wrote the Tremere fantasy series with Dragos, and that is super popular. Tremere? Just so you guys know, I always pronounce everything wrong, horribly wrong, but now that I know she has more books, now I'm gonna go read those too. Dang it, my list just got longer. Alex Roma says, hey, I'm late, but I'm here. Hi, Alex, it's good to have you. There's a bunch of Alexes here now. I love when this happens. That makes me so happy. Alexander Black says, my current book is Stories from the Twilight Zone by Rod Serling. It's the episodes of the Twilight Zone written as short stories by the creator, lead writer, creative genius of the Twilight Zone. That is awesome. I feel like I was a little young when the Twilight Zone, like, because wasn't there a reboot of the Twilight Zone or something? I feel like I saw one episode of, like, the more modern Twilight Zone, and it traumatized me because I'm a horror author that can't watch horror. You know, because that makes perfect sense. I can't really watch, like, there's some sci-fi I can't watch either. Like, to be completely honest, guys, stuff with robots really freaks me out. Because I saw AI when I was a kid, and I got really emotional because I thought to myself, wait, so robots, when they die, where did they go? Did they just stop existing? And then I had an existential crisis of, is that what happens to humans when we die? Oh god, does heaven not exist? And, you know, I was that weird overthinking child, so robots make me think too much. Courtney says, epic cuddle time, and then a laughy face. I'm going to use that. Please do. Please use epic cuddle time. Can we make that a thing? Just, let's make that a thing. There's Netflix and chill, and now there's epic cuddle time. Okay. I get too giggly with this kind of stuff. Like, okay, I'm gonna be quiet now. KJ says, the Twilight Zone short stories sound so interesting. Dragons, lol, lol, lol. Oh, okay, I read Dragos, and I was like, oh, is that just like a fancy word for dragons? Like, or is that like a creature that I haven't heard of? Or is that like doggos and dragons? Like, oh, yeah, when a dragon's acting like a doggo, it's like all cuddly and cute and like breathing a little bit of smoke. I'm gonna just imagine like a mini dragon that like curls up on your feet while you sit next to a fireplace. That's a drago. It's like a puppy dragon. We're inventing a lot of important stuff here, guys. Somebody take notes. Dragos, epic cuddle time. Don't put them together, but good terms. Good terms. Oh, whoa. I think whoa, you guys are, I am not keeping up with reading. Okay, so Alex Roma, are we talking about books? Yes, we are. We're talking a lot about books. I'm actually late because I was reading The Girl Who Smiled Beads by Clementine Wamaria. Again, can't pronounce names. That sounds interesting though. KG says it's a historical fantasy set in Neapolitan wars. Can't pronounce words. Oh, for the Naomi Novik book? That sounds really interesting. Franny says, I need to read their books plus Kristen Martin's Shadowcrown. That's the other one. Oh, that's the other one I need to read. Guys, I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Okay, Alexander Black says, it is, especially because it's Rod Sterling's getting to tell his story in a way that he couldn't for the show. That makes sense. I'm sure there's certain stuff that you can do with the show, like show versus the I keep wanting to say movie, show versus story, where there's more details that you can do, or you can be a little more subtle with like hiding things. Like that's the one thing I really love about writing fantasy is you can have a very descriptive like list of things and just like hide something in there. I love doing that. Keep an eye out because sometimes I do that in my writing. As Roma says, reading horror is totally different experience from watching horror, honestly. I love reading horror, but jump scares and mood manipulation music and soundtracks makes me too tense to enjoy horror movies. That is exactly why I have a hard time writing horror or reading horror. Reading horror. That's why I have a hard time watching horror movies. Someday I will be able to speak. And for that exact reason, I can tell that something is about to happen, so I start tensing up and waiting and waiting and waiting for that bad thing to happen. And I don't like it, where with horror stories, it's much more of a slow burn, so it intrigues me and it keeps me going, but I can easily like disconnect if I'm getting too freaked out. So yeah, I agree. It is a very different experience. Alexander Black says there were two reboots of the show and a movie, but the classic black and white and will always be the best because Rod Serling had so many morals and was an amazing writer. That's what I've heard, is that the originals, like I think I've seen a few of the original, or at least I've heard. My dad used to watch it, so he's told me about it. But there's some really cool concepts there. I agree. KJ says, no, just me mistyping. Haha. Dracos are so cute little dragons now. Are cute little dragons now. Yes, they are. They're cute little dragons. So that is the best typo in the world. We just invented a creature. Alexander Black says, I'm going to put them together. Drago's epic cuddle time. There's a market for it, and I will find it, supply it. Oh, and then Courtney says, Alexander Black, oh no. I mean, the internet does exist, but let's keep it pure. Let's keep the Dragos pure and sweet and cuddly and possibly handheld size. Maybe they start out like this big and then they get to be like the size of like a whippet, like, you know, small dog, medium-sized dog. I think this is a good plan. I think we're all on to something. You guys would not believe how tired my voice gets in this 1 hour. It's crazy. But I'm still feeling really energized from that last sprint, so I think it is time to do another sprint. So at 35 after, we are going to start another one. Let's go for another 10 minutes. It gives us a little bit of time to, you know, like, I feel like it's a good time to, like, get your groove going. So, okay, I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. So we've got 2-minute warning. Get your drinks and all your cool, wonderful inspiration ready to go. Alexander Black says, I wouldn't have had this idea if it weren't for you, the dark places of the internet. Thank you one day. Draco Cuddle Time by Alexander Black. Insert deranged chuckle here. Oh dear. Oh dear, this is my fault. Alexander says, I will sprint, but I'm not going to go. Yeah, I can't talk, but I'm not going to word count because I am handwriting. I can line count. Okay, awesome. Yeah, actually, I'm not even doing a word count because I'm working on some editing stuff right now. So if you guys are joining us and you want to sprint with us and you're not actually going for a word goal or you're working on editing or whatever, don't worry about that. That's no big deal at all. Just work on a project. This is more just about having that very set amount of time. And I kind of talked about this in my last video about motivation, but setting that timer really does help with my motivation. Like, okay, gotta just get this 10 minutes going. Gotta just do the 10 minutes and then I can break. So it's good to kind of get those batteries started up. That's not how batteries work, but you guys understand. So we got a 1-minute warning, so I'm gonna have some tea, and I'm going to grab a prompt from the Magical Mystical Top Hat of Doom. And our prompt this time is Eye of the Beholder. Ooh, take that whatever direction you want. If you play Dungeons and Dragons, maybe an actual beholder, maybe the famous phrase, maybe the eyes of someone who is holding something. I don't know, guys. My head hurts, so don't expect me to be too creative right now. But Eye of the Beholder is the prompt, and it is time to go. So we will be writing for 10 minutes. Eye of the Beholder is your prompt. So ready, set, go. And Alexander Black says, Beholder cuddle time, do I dare? No, I'm just gonna roll up the newspaper and bop you on the nose, Alexander. No. Alex Ramos says, oh geez, there's already murder and a vampire mafia in this story. I don't need to throw in a beholder into the mix. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. Yeah, the prompts are optional too. So if you can't find a way to make it work, you don't have to make your story more violent if you don't want to. But if you do, meh, beholder might get the job done. So yeah, I'll stop talking. I'll let you guys go. about halfway through this sprint. So if you're just joining us, the prompt is Eye of the Beholder. So just keep on writing and we will be done in about 4 minutes. Alright, that is time. And again, I was editing, but oh, I felt good, like, about the writing that I was reading over and the tweaks that I made. That felt like a good old sprint. I am I am contented with that one. So how did you guys do? Were you keeping a word count? How did you do with that? Or were you just working on other things? Like, what is the projects that you're working on? Like, let's all sound off. Were you able to get the prompt in there? I wasn't again. I'm a bad hostess. Sorry, my throat is a little bit scratchy today, but that is a-okay. KJ says 231 words added to this new scene of my contemporary fantasy. That is awesome. Good job. Wow, 231 words. You guys are like machines. That's really cool. I'm so proud of you guys. This always makes me so like happy and proud. It's so great when I get to see you like you guys actually like be successful and have these huge accomplishments. And like whenever I find out that someone like that I'm friends with on Twitter or who's participating in Writers Patch has like had a big accomplishment or actually published themselves or anything like that, it gets me really excited. So it just like these like smaller accomplishments make me really excited. But if you guys have anything like you ever want to share, like that you like I'm getting published or my short story won a contest, like let me know, because I love hearing about that stuff. It makes me excited. Franny says 111 words. I like that number. Nice and clean. Kind of got stuck but pulled through. Yeah, you got 111 words. Looks like you definitely pulled through. Alex Roma says, sure, pizza is what I imagine when I think of picnic food. Picnic food is in the eye of the beholder. Laurel grinned, fit the prompt in a shoehorn sort of way at the last minute, and wrote 18 lines. Awesome! I like the way you used the prompt. That's fun. Courtney says, I'm researching into the Valkyrie for another story because I'm clearly incapable of sticking to one story. I know how that goes. I'm known for jumping stories, and I'm sticking with one so far. So far, I've been working on it since October. So it comes with time. It happens. And Shannon says, made coffee and got 81 words. You made coffee. That's what's important, though. Like that's very important. Coffee is essential. I've got my tea, and it's very essential to my writing process. So good job. Alexander Black says 169 words added to the Alice is Down set of stairs. All of the words so far tonight are at the beginning of a new chapter and has been Alice going down the impossibly long staircase because Wonderland. I like that. Oh, that makes me excited. Oh, your Alice in Wonderland story just has me so intrigued. I love that. I love the idea of a staircase instead of a rabbit hole. And Hannah Justine says, I wrote 150 words. I was surprised to do that in such a short time. Isn't it amazing how many words you can knock out in like a really tiny amount of time? Like whenever I do the NaNoWriMo sprints and it is the 1K in 30 minutes, like so write 1,000 words in 30 minutes. Like when I first started, I was like, how is that even humanly possible? And then I started doing it and it's pretty possible. I mean, you gotta like completely turn your brain off and just write, but I can write 1,000 words in 30 minutes now pretty easily, which makes my life a little bit easier. Sometimes they get a little rambly, but that's what editing's for. That's what editing's for. KJ says, sometimes I get stuck by myself, but I love writing during sprints with other people. Great motivator to pull through. I agree. I really like, I like doing sprints and more like public write-ins. I also really enjoy writing in public places. For some reason that makes me feel motivated, because if I go to Starbucks and I spend money on a drink that isn't so cheap to begin with, and I actually have made that effort to actually leave the house and buy something and all of that, and I end up just surfing Facebook, it's like, I could have just done that at home. I could have just wasted time at home and instead of in public. So I really like the idea of writing in public, and I really like the idea of writing with others. I'm part of a writers group that gets together every other Friday in my in-person life. I still don't know how to describe that, but we do prompts together, and we like actually sit together and write together, and it just really gets me excited. Like by the time I get home, it's like, ooh, I have writing energy and I just want to go write. And I'm actually getting together with them this Friday, so that's going to be really fun. Franny says, same to what KJ said, and KJ says, this sort of feels like writing in public for me. I love it. Yeah, it kind of is like writing in public, and it's always really interesting. Like, I don't know, I just, for some reason, like, I thought I was only going to do this like a few times during Nano last year, these live streams, and then it ended up being that we enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed it and you guys enjoyed it, and people are like, are you going to keep doing this? And then the bi-weekly thing happened, and now because of Camp Nano, it's like, okay, well, we got to do this. We got to do this every week for camp. But yeah, I'm really excited by all of this, and we'll definitely be streaming again next week on Wednesday. I think once we move into May, I will go back to the bi-weekly schedule, so I'll make sure to let you guys know what the dates are going to be for that. It just kind of have to work out timing and all of that, because May is a bit more of a busy month for me. Just a lot of family birthdays and my wedding anniversary and, just all that good old stuff. And oh, yeah, just, it's a busy month. It's a busy, busy month. Plus, school gets done and I work for a school, and looking for summer jobs right now. So that's kind of interesting because there's only so many like summer school opportunities, and our school's been kind of a little bit tight budget-wise. So trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my summer employment, but that's a whole nother can of worms. I got a month to figure that out and all that good stuff. If any of you know anyone who's hiring someone part-time or full-time for the summer, hit me up. But yeah, oh my gosh, we've only got like 8 minutes left, guys. This always goes so quickly, just so quickly. If you guys would like me to, because I don't think, wait a minute, is next week the last Wednesday of Camp NaNoWriMo? I have to figure that, I have to, wait, there's a calendar right behind me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so next week, the 25th, is the last Wednesday of Camp NaNoWriMo. And the last actual day of Camp NaNoWriMo is Monday the 30th. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. If you, maybe I'll do a poll on Twitter too, just to make it a little more clean to keep track of. But if you guys want, I can do a stream on the 25th, and I could do a final camp stream on the 30th. Oh, wait, no, I can't. I can't do the last day of Nano. That's my wedding anniversary. So I will be spending that time with my husband. So I'm sorry. Maybe we could do the 29th, like a Sunday stream, like a day before, like a Camp NaNoWriMo ending Eve. I don't know. If you guys want me to do more streams, or if you want me to just stick to doing the one, just let me know. Just let me know what you guys think. And oof, there was a lot of comments that popped up. Okay. Alexander Black says, I always look forward to write-ins, to the write-in live streams so much, because I get so much work done. That makes me feel really good. I'm so glad that you get stuff done. Courtney says, how did you find a writing group, if you don't mind me asking? I wanted to join an in-person writing group for a while now, but none of my in real life friends are writers. They're stupid chem majors. Okay, so actually, I kind of found my writers group by chance. I went to a birthday party for a friend, and there was friends of that friend, who, one of them was my friend Amber, who started this writers group, and my husband became really good friends with her husband, and then he had mentioned, like, oh, well, my wife has a writers group, and Alex, my husband, also, but just to clarify, my husband's also named Alex, so don't get too confused by this story, but he is like, Al, you need to go to this writers group. And I was like, but I'm shy and socially awkward. He's like, no, you need to go to this writers group. And I went, and I've never looked back. I've been a part of this writers group for years now. I would say, I feel like sometimes writers groups meet at local libraries, or you can maybe like talk to your local library about like organizing, like using like a room for a writers group and kind of having like an open invitation and seeing who comes. But yeah, it was just kind of by dumb luck and making friends and just making new connections. So just kind of reach out and try to meet more writerly people and go from there. That's kind of what I ended up doing, and kind of just stumble through it. And it's a little awkward at first, but eventually you end up realizing like, oh my gosh, we're like one big team and this is awesome. And KJ says, great, I would love to keep participating even when camp is over. Courtney says, smiley face. And then Alex Roma says, Courtney, I actually found mine through NaNoWriMo. I got started going to write-ins in my city, and then a few of us there decided to meet year-round. And then Courtney says, Alex Roma, did you just post in the forums for people in your area? Oh no, it jumped. And Alex Roma says, yes, just click on your regional forum. And yes, that is true. The Camp NaNoWriMo website does have a good way of meeting with other writers. That is a really good point. Thanks for bringing that up, Alex. And then Franny says, yes to Sunday, whatever works for you. Okay, that's good to know. I will keep an eye out on my Twitter. I will officially announce like a game plan on like in the next day or two, and yeah, then we'll go from there. And then looks like Courtney and Alex just kind of gave each other some directions on how to find people, and I wish I would have known about that sooner. Well, hey, this is awesome. You guys were able to make that connection and figure that out, so that is really cool. And we are nearing about the time for us to wrap up for the evening, unfortunately, but again, keep an eye out on my Twitter and I will figure out if I'm going to do like a bonus stream on the 29th or if I'm just going to do one on the 25th. Just keep an eye out. Also, tomorrow is my Writer's Patch live stream. It is for my Patreon supporters, and I actually am running a special like lottery where if you're not a Patreon supporter, you can win a chance to, or you can enter for a chance to be a part of that stream still. It's styled like my chat Writer's Patch, but live stream. So all you have to do is like an image that is over on my Twitter account. It's like this big blue graphic that talks about the Writer's Patch live stream. So all you have to do is go over there and like that, and that automatically enters you into the drawing so that you can possibly be able to participate in that chat. Otherwise, if you want a guaranteed spot in the Writer's Patch live stream, which I do monthly, all you have to do is pledge $1 a month to my Patreon page. I have a link to that on my Twitter account, and I usually have them in all of my videos too. So either you can like that status for a chance to win, or you can donate $1 a month for automatic inclusion into the Writer's Patch live stream. So for those of you guys here that are Patreon supporters, don't forget about that. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Yes, am I forgetting anything else? I don't think so, but if you guys need to watch this back to review any of the comments or any like conversations that you had, they did change YouTube that you can like watch a video and the comments will pop up in real time, so you can like skip around in the video and the comments will pop up. So yeah, so that is all good like that. Alex Roma says, my writers group meets tomorrow, but I'll be home by 8:30ish. And then Alex says, hashtag Alex Club, Eastern Central Time. Okay, 7 p.m. Central Time, so I'll probably be a little late, but not much. That's okay. That's okay. The stream will probably, I find that the Writer's Patch live stream sometimes goes a little bit over time, and sometimes it starts a little bit late, so that is a-okay. But if you guys have any other questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to just tweet me at patchworknerd, or, you know, anything like that. I'm starting to get really rambly. My head's starting to hurt a little bit more, so I'm gonna go take some Tylenol and drink some more tea and probably work on some more editing, and it'll be awesome. But thank you guys so much for joining me this evening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening, and I hope you're all having a great Camp NaNoWriMo and that you're all having a great time creating awesome projects. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. So until I see you next time, just remember, keep writing, keep laughing, and most importantly, keep encouraging each other. And Alex Rose says, thank you for the chat. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much, all of you guys. You're awesome. I will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Toodles!